Hi, Owen. What are you working on?
Hi, Laura. Our teacher asked us to write a speech about what we each can do to protect the environment. But when I showed him my draft, he said that the language was too informal for a speech. I'm not sure what he means.
Don't worry, I can help you. When we talk to our friends or our family, we use informal language. Informal language is casual, personal, often fast, and, in most cases, spontaneous. Formal language, on the other hand, is the kind of language we would use in our school assignments, in other serious situations, or perhaps when we are speaking to someone we don't know so well. It's impersonal, and well thought out. Choosing which kind of language we use depends on several things: our audience, our task, and our purpose. If we consider whom we are communicating with, what we are trying to say, and why we want to say it, we might change our choice of words, our tone, and the way we put our words together.
So, when I'm speaking to Grandma, I'm using informal language, and when I'm writing an essay, I'm using formal language?
Yes, that's what you are meant to do anyway.
But, how are formal and informal kinds of language different?
I will explain. Let's compare the two by looking at some examples. Why don't we use the words you yourself used previously? You said, "When I'm speaking to Grandma." This is an example of informal language. Grandma is a shortened version of which word?
Grandmother.
That's right. Grandma is a shortened and informal version of the word grandmother. So, the formal way of saying grandma is grandmother. In formal language, we use complete words. That is why, in formal language, you wouldn't say, "When I'm speaking," you would say,
"When I am speaking."
Exactly. I'm is a contraction, just like she's, he's, there, and many more. We don't use contractions in formal language, but we do use them every day, when we speak informally. So, if you had to use formal language, you would say, "When I am speaking to grandmother."
Got it?
Got it is another example of informal language. You didn't use the pronoun I to form a complete sentence. A more formal way to phrase this would be,
I got it.
Yes, you would use the pronoun to form a complete sentence. But the choice of words is also important. Got is informal. A more formal word to use instead of got would be understood. So, if you wanted to speak more formally, you would say, I understood it. And, to make it even more formal, you would avoid using the pronouns I or we. You would use passive voice.
Okay, let me try. So, I wouldn't say, I understood it. I would say, it was understood.
Great. Slang is another example of informal language. If I say, giving a speech is a blast, I am using the slang term, blast. How would you phrase this sentence, to make the language more formal?
Let me think. I would say, giving a speech is an enjoyable experience. Is that correct?
That is great, Owen. Remember, depending on what we have to say, why we have to say it, and to whom we have to say it, we may need to use formal language. Situations, such as school assignments, or speaking to people we don't know very well, call for formal language. To use formal language, we should use complete words and sentences, use formal words, use passive voice, avoid slang. Now, I think you are ready to make corrections to your speech. Have fun!